next announcement is from Kathryn Colasanti, who is actually the real leader behind today's summit. So if you can give her a huge applause, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Michelle. No, it takes a lot of people to make a day like this happen, and I just wanted to take a minute to recognize a few of those people. First and foremost, we couldn't do any of this without the very generous support from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. So will you please join me in giving Kellogg Foundation a big hand. I also want to thank our other sponsors, the Fair Food Network, the Great Lakes Food Co-ops, and St. Joseph Mercy of Ann Arbor, as well as all of our exhibitors and our advertisers. I want to give a big shout out to our planning committee, who's been meeting since the beginning of this year to plan out the agenda for this conference, including Jeremy Andrews, Jude Berry, Kabibi Blunt-Dorn, Karima El-Amin, Meredith Freeman, Mark Hitchcock, Terry McLean, Vicki Marone, Michelle Napier-Dunnings, Cynthia Price, Cheryl Simon, Filiberto Villagomez, Michelle Walken, Lori Yelton. Michigan Good Food Steering Committee also provided really key input at key junctures. And please join me in thanking those people. I also want to thank all of our speakers who gave so generously of their time to share their experiences with us here today, as well as all of the facilitators, the note takers, everybody who organized buses from their communities. We really couldn't do any of this without all of your support. Liz Gensler, Michaela Oldfield, Katie Jo DeSantis, Kathleen Reed all pitched in with really key tasks in the last couple weeks. I want to thank Diane Drago and her team for handling all of the registration logistics, including all of us who registered at the last minute. I want to thank the Lansing Center for hosting us. And then I don't know if the chef has a moment to step out, but I wanted to just take a minute to thank the chef for taking the time to make a special custom menu for us and featuring foods from Michigan farmers. And lastly, thank you to all of you for being here. It's not a summit without your attendance, and we're so glad to have you here.
And if any of you are planning a big conference, you should see Kathryn's spreadsheet. It's fascinating and has all those details in one document. The next individual who has a few announcements is Jean Doss, who has also been working with the Good Food Steering Team so that we can begin thinking a little bit more around policy and political action.
Thank you. We're all special, but we do have a few special guests I want to recognize. First of all, former State Representative Lee Gonzalez. He was termed out of office. He is now the Senior Executive of Initiatives with the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. Lee, if you could stand up. This is a very special friend. Let me tell you why. In a time of term limits, it's very difficult in just 6 years to have an impact as a state legislator in the House, but Lee took the lead on the first package of legislation on farm to school and introduced the legislation and made sure it passed, changing the competitive bidding threshold from what was $20,102 to the federal, which is $100,000. Lee, thank you. It's a huge deal. So. There were many, many legislators that wanted to be here today. It simply is not a good day, but 2 sent their legislative directors. And if you could hold your applause till I'm done, because we want to keep this moving, but Representative Al Pasholka from Stevensville, Michigan, sent his legislative director, Kirsty Seeloff. If you could stand, Kirsty. And then Sarah Shilio is a legislative director for Representative Jeff, Kirsty, stand up. Sarah with Jeff Irwin, Representative Jeff Irwin from Ann Arbor. Oh, just applause whenever you want to. That's easier. Okay. Then we have another really special guest, William Hamilton. If you could stand up, from the House Fiscal Agency, is a senior analyst in charge of reporting on and advising the construction of the agriculture budget. And we want to thank you for coming with us today. And this is where it gets a little dangerous because I spotted 2 former legislators in the audience, but there could be more. First of all, former state representative and senator and first ever female speaker pro tem in the House of Michigan, House of State Representatives in Michigan, Patty Burkholz, now the League of Conservation Voters. Stand up, Patty. And then our own from Lansing, Lynn Martinez, former state representative. Stand up. Thank you. Okay, now I would like all current and former elected officials, and we're talking dog catcher all the way to state senator, any governors, to stand up, please, so we could acknowledge you. County commissioners, all right. All right, excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Great. And I spotted one more. Mary Judnich, are you still in the audience? Senator Stabenow's office. Thank you. Okay, so if we missed you, come and grab us, and we'll do that at the last piece, and we'll make sure we get everybody. There's no intention on that. It's just oversight and trying to find people in the room. So thank you all for being here as well, and make sure you carry this message back to your offices and into your policy work. It's so important. So the next piece, our other dessert, in addition to what we ate, is a young group who they're answering how do you choose to support the good food movement through performance art. So this is the Food Warriors, and woo-woo! And they will be introduced by the Education and Outreach Director for the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network, Hanifa Ajuman. So Hanifa, if you can come up.